Good evening from Groovy Eggs Farm. I am Jeff. I don't care what day it is. I hope you're not hungry, because this was a good meal that I am showing you. Go grab a snack, hit pause, come back when you're... some Parmesan crusted chicken and with some Fettuccini Alfredo. It is wonderful having a kitchen and making a mess. You know, look at that. I got 2 plates and a bowl and just making a mess everywhere. Alright, I'm using just some cheap panko and some cheap Parmesan and little spices, the Classico. I have made my own, and this is the star, the West Michigan Pasta and Provisions Fettuccini. Yeah, man, I'll be talking about them. But yeah, I have made my own Alfredo. It's been hit and miss, so the Classico was good enough. But, yeah. The trick that I have learned with breaded chicken is after you let them soak for about 15 minutes after you're done breading them. And that helps all the breading stick to the chicken. And you'll see as I'm cooking that not much of it comes off at all. And if you give it about 15 minutes to settle in after you dip it, that does it pretty good. Another trick I learned is I rinse off the chicken and then you pat it dry, get it really dry, and then dip it into the flour, and then into the egg, and then into your whatever crust you're using. I used a mix of just the cheap Parmesan in the canisters. If you get the good Parmesan, like in the bags, it has more moisture with it, so it's not gonna be as brown, but it still tastes good, even though it's a little bit darker brown. But yeah, some people like mushrooms, some don't. I'm a mushroom kind of guy, and I splurged on this meal. That is not my chicken. Yeah, I usually cook my chickens whole in the crock pot. It was the grocery store had a manager special on some, so I got some thinly sliced chicken breast. Hey Bob, yeah, you wanted some of that chicken real bad. You were begging me all night. Yeah, but this yeah, there we go, the fettuccine. Part-time Permies on YouTube. I haven't met them in real life, but he is a trained chef, and he has his own business. And Cindy has chickens and all kinds of cool stuff going. But he has his own pasta business. And I usually get a 10-pack of pasta from them every once in a while. And so he threw in the extra fettuccine for me. That was awesome. But it's... the sauce sticks to the pasta of, gourmet pasta. It's because they use different, I think they call them extruders. So like the mainstream pasta that you get at, Walmart or the grocery store, they're using stainless steel, so everything is smooth. But on handcrafted pasta, it's got more of a rough texture. And so the sauce really sticks to it a lot better. And it just tastes better too. So yeah. Have a look at West Michigan Pasta and Provisions. You can order online and they ship it all over the place. They also sell fresh pasta and fresh sauce in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area. So this is one of my, I love Italian food. So there was a restaurant, Leona's in Chicago, that had something similar. Oh yeah. And so I wanted to learn how to make it for myself. But yeah, this is inspired by Leona's in Evanston and Chicago, Illinois. All right, here is the newly established grade school punk and fraternity boys flock. The fraternity boys are in here now with the grade school punks. So they'll keep everybody in line and make sure the grade school punks aren't getting too big for their britches. He's my backup white and true blue. And then we got one of the big black copper marans, another white and true blue there to the left, and another black copper marans, and then a bunch of little ankle biters. You know, some people raise like 50 of the Cornish cross. Oh, hey, what's going on there? I don't know what those two were doing. They've been living together for weeks, so that was the end of that. There's no more fighting. They just got confused for a second. But yeah, some people do a batch of like the Cornish cross hybrid meat birds, and they'll get 50 of them and raise them up and put them in their freezer. Well, this is kind of my version of that. I'm just not using the Cornish cross. Most of these are white and true blues, and so more than 20 of them. So I'll be evaluating them and picking the best one to continue my white and true blue breeding. And this is what breeders do: is they'll want to hatch 200 eggs and have 100 males, and then pick the best one of the 100. Maybe keep the second best one as a backup, but that's what breeders need to do to stay on top of their game, is hatch a lot of chicks and pick the best of the best and keep going. So this year I'm doing it with the white and true blue roosters, and I'll get the cream of the crop, and then, you know, in the future I'll be doing the Morans and the other ones. But yep, this year I got a ton of those little white and true blues. All right, had to get the chainsaw. Yeah. And now I'm taking down this fence. I'm going to use this fence in the front yard. This is a 164-foot fence. Most of mine are 164 feet. I do have a few that are 100 feet. So, anyway, this coop is not in use. It's the furthest away from everything and requires most walking and all that stuff. So, actually, we moved that coop a little bit forward. But yeah, if I want 2 flocks in the front yard, I gotta do something with this tree. My birthday bash a couple years ago, it's all Grady and Mark and Drew and some other helpers. They got rid of this problem tree in my front yard. Well, they didn't get rid of it. They got rid of the problem, but the tree was still there. So I had to get my chainsaw. Greg the Great had my chains sharpened for me. So I put the sharpened chain on the chainsaw, and we're going to have to do something about that tree in the front yard if I want coops in there. And this coop that I was repairing in the last video, it needs tarp. So I got one. This came from Harbor Freight. They had a special bin, and I think it was only 15 bucks, which is a great deal on a tarp. And hey, it's camouflage, so it's in my front yard. Nobody's even going to know. If only it worked like that. Yeah, not illegal in my county to have chickens in your front yard. So you don't have to have backyard chickens. You can have front yard chickens around here. I appreciate the freedom of rural Arkansas in that regard. But yeah, I'm just zip tying them and calling it a day, getting ready to move, you know, that flock that I really highlighted in the last video. They're the first ones that are going to be moved. So I'm getting their new home ready for them. All right, now I got some extra energy. Let's get out that chainsaw and go after this tree. I don't even know what kind of a tree it was. Brett from Tiny Farm Nuggets he'd gone after this tree and got a big chunk of it, quite a while ago. And then until the battery just went out, and it really went out. So just have to finish the work. And I am no expert chainsaw lumberjack at all. So have I mentioned I'm exhausted twice a day? Yeah, it happens. Yeah, I'm not an expert chainsaw operator, so I am looking that over very carefully to see which way it's gonna plop or fall, or yeah. So I got that one out of the way, and make it manageable so I can scoot it around. But yeah, which way? I don't want to get my chainsaw stuck when it wedges in there, so I had to. Oh, yep, there we go. That did it. It rolled down the hill a little bit. You can see I have 2 different levels. And then to the left of the coop there's like a 10-foot drop off down to the level of the road. So it's hard to do these fences going, you know, when there's a big 3 feet drop off. So you have to take them at an angle instead of, you know, straight up and down. And that's why that tree had to go, is I needed to get my fences through there. So yeah, here we go, putting up the fence that I took down earlier in the video. This is the 164-foot fence, and the flock that's gonna go in here, they're running around in the background. You can see the little black copper marans. But the thing about this fencing is you never get it right the first time. So there's always readjusting happening. And at this point, it's getting dark, and I want to move those chickens tonight. So I am just getting it done good enough so that I can move them in after dark. And then we can go from there to get the second flock into the front yard. Yeah, that's my camcorder zoomed in on the moon. Pretty cool. But yeah, that wasn't the end of my day. I wish it was, but I did go after dark and move 20 some chickens from their old coop into the new coop in the front yard. And then the next day, well, let's go let them out to their new area. It's been a while since they probably had any type of green vegetation to eat, and you don't think about that with chickens, but they love eating grass and everything growing on the ground. You give them, that's one way to cut down your food bill, is to put them on grass. But this is the same flock that we were looking at in the last video. I will be reducing the size of this flock. I picked this flock for the front yard because it's going to end up with just one rooster and probably 8 or 9 hens. All those little black copper marans running around in there, they will be moved to a black copper marans flock once I'm done, you know, fixing coops and moving fences and what you're seeing in this video. I've got more of that left to do. But yeah, I picked this flock because they're going to be small, and I figured sharing the fencing here and with the change in levels, that I wanted a small flock in the front yard.
What, you enjoying the place all to yourself?
There's one little black copper marans boy, cockerel is what you call them before they become roosters. But yeah, he was just hanging out in the coop by himself. I think he was enjoying being the alone time. But it's, yeah, you know, chickens are fun. Chickens are fun. They're just all have different personalities, and yet they're group-like, and they never listen to anything I say. Unless I'm holding corn. I could have made this video a little bit shorter, huh? It's a nice view, huh? I like my view. I don't really have to worry about the chickens getting in the road. There's a 10-foot drop off right next to the coop, so. Yeah, see, I'm in short sleeves, so that means it must have been pretty warm that day, so I didn't give them any corn. They're like, wait a minute, there wasn't any corn in that food. Where's the corn at? And then they move on. Oh, they're so funny. But yeah, they are really enjoying the front yard. But I need to put another flock in the front yard also. So that coop in the background there, I got well, Drew and Lindsay and Greg the Great stopped by, and so we got that coop moved. Oh, I want to pause this. This is a black copper maran's hen in this flock, and you can tell. Maybe I can pause it at a better spot. you can tell she's not pure black. It's called mossiness. She's got some mossiness to her feather colors. And that's why I'm not using this black copper Marans hen to create more black copper Marans. That is a fatal flaw that you do not want to breed with. So I can't use her for Marans, but I can put her in with white and true blue and use her for green and olive acres. So that's what I'm doing. It's, not all black copper Marans are the same. There are different qualities. I was mentioning in comments, like restaurants. You got McDonald's and then you got 5-star. You get what you pay for. But I am paying attention to the quality of my black copper Marans and trying to stick to the standards. And her, with the mossiness in the feather color, is she just should not be used for Marans breeding. So I just wanted to point that out. And she's a little olive acre. Whiting true blue rooster. He's the king in there. Then a lot of those little black copper Marans will be graduating to their own flock. Alright, one flock successfully moved to the front yard. Now we got to prepare for the second flock. So this is the coop that's going to get moved. And I'm going to be needing that fence. So, yeah, more work. Have I mentioned that I'm exhausted every day, twice a day? There's always something. There's always something. Eventually, when I've got, things set in place, there won't be so much of this coop moving and fence moving, and that's the theory anyway. But yeah, that's one of my smaller 100-foot fences that I bought used from somebody that was getting out of the chickens. So, alright, yeah, I just spent all that time putting that fence up the other day. Well, now we're going to rearrange it. And there's no way to map out exactly how much ground is going to be covered by the fence. It's all got to be trial and error. So I'm just kind of thinking, all right, how am I going to work these two fences together for these two flocks? And already a couple escapees. You turn the fence off to move it around, and everybody thinks they own the world. These little ones can just scoot through the fence, the holes in the fence, when they're that young, when the fence is off. They know they've done wrong, too. They know, we got to go back on the other side of the fence. There they finally go. Alright, yeah, still, I haven't removed the tree completely from the front yard, but I've got it enough out of the way that I can at least get the chicken started in there. They don't care. Actually, Drew helped me move the small pile of that one right there. Can you see my mouse? I don't even know. Yeah, Drew and Lindsay and Greg helped me move one small pile there. It's too big for my wood stove, unfortunately. But now I've got an outdoor fire pit, so it could be used for that. And once again, you never get the fence done right the first time. Never. So when you finally get the two ends meeting up, then you just go back and readjust it. And that is good enough for now. But here we go. I am Groovy Eggs Farm. My name is Jeff. I don't care what day it is anymore. Thank you for watching. Thanks for making everything in this video possible. The kitchen, being able to cook myself a good meal. It's all because of support from YouTube, and that is not lost on me. I am thankful every single day. And look at these groovy eggs you guys are helping me breed and develop and share with the world. So thanks for watching, and take it easy.